Welcome guys back to my YouTube channel. I have some good news about the new A1200NG. I've had the latest board sent to me. I've had it approximately about 2 weeks, so I've been testing it to make sure everything seems to be working, and everything is working extremely well. So hopefully from the 1st of April onwards, anyone who's pre-ordered should be getting theirs very soon. So this video today is just to talk to you a little bit about the board. I'm going to fit it into a 1200 case, just to show you how easy it is to install. So as you can see in front of you is a 1200 case. You can get a hold of a replacement case on the internet from various places, or unless you like me, who's already got a 1200 machine what was gone up the spout, and I had a spare case and floppy drive as well, and including the actual LED lighting. So if we open this machine up, as you can see, we have no content inside, so it's a completely empty machine. So this is the board is going into this case. So what I will then do is I will show you the actual board. Over the last few weeks I've been doing videos on installing this and installing that, just to give you a bit of an idea of all what's been going on over the last few months. As you probably already gathered from a couple of my other videos, that I've been testing this from early December last year. They sent me a prototype board to begin with, and I've been testing that product for them, for the software and the hardware, and they've now just recently sent me one in the last couple of weeks, and they've now given me permission to actually show you the board, talk to you about the board and install it. I'm not going to go through anything else, I'm just going to show you how easy it is to actually install, and what you may need to do yourself. So I remove this out of the way, and I will bring you in the new board and what you will be expected to receive. I can't show you the box. This is the box it was sent to me in, but all I know is when you actually receive it from April onwards, it will be coming in a nice flash box, probably something very similar to the A600GS, but I can't confirm that myself yet, because I don't need it, because as you can see I've actually had the board in front of me. So when you get the machine sent to you from Amiga Kits, you will get a power supply. It's a 12 volt power supply. It's a 3 amp only. What comes with it, that is part of the system. You also get a extension cable to go from the inside to the outer of the casing, and they do give you an expansion block for you to put it onto, to clip it into the back of the case, but we'll go through that as we're installing it. So you get that as well. You also get your orange Pi that is standard with the actual motherboard. It comes with it. Okay, you've got an SD card, comes with it as standard. It's only the 64 gig card what comes with it. before you go to place an order, if you decide you're like myself, who's slightly a bit heavier on the content, you have the option to upgrade it to a 128. The card I've got in here is an actual 128, because where I've been testing it, I needed a lot bigger drive, because where I've been testing various different workbenches, especially when you go into the hard file creating, it does take up a reasonable amount of space. But if you're not particularly a heavy user, then the 64 gig is more than adequate for yourself. If you've been using the A1200GS with the 64 and you find that was perfect, then you'll find it also will be fine on here. But for myself, I wanted a slightly bigger drive, so I upgraded mine to a bigger drive. But please remember to do that before you're ordering, to make sure you get the right size you need, because if for any reason you do decide you wish to upgrade to a bigger drive, you will need to contact Amiga Kit for them to send you out a 128 size, because the actual software is keyed to your Orange Pi, so you can't just take the card out, put another card in for it to work. So you may need to contact them to get an upgraded card at a later date, but I'll leave that for your own judgment. But for myself, I've got a 128. So right, so from that point, so you know about the 12 volts, so I'll move that to one side. So the actual board, if you're wondering what this slot is here, this is for a compact flash disk. Now the object of this slot is actually classed as a USB slot. Now if you've got, from the old days, you had to use a CF card to create your hard drives to boot from, and so on up the list. What you should be able to do is you'll be able to plug the CF compact flash card in, and then your content, what you originally had on there, as long as you created a workbench within the menu and boot from that, then the actual drive will then appear. But everyone has got a different way of setting their stuff up, so I can't guarantee it's going to work every time, but for me it's worked and I've been happy with it. So it is only a USB slot, but it gives you the advantage if you've got any old content and you want to get onto this machine, then that's an option. But we're not going to discuss that today, so we'll leave that. But that's what that slot's for. You've got your 12 volts input with a 3 amp charger, what is supplied. Over here you've got your audio left and right. And next door to it, there is an extra optional feature been added to this board, is a CD audio input. So if you've got an IDE drive or a drive that's got sound output, you can connect it into there directly, and then you get your sound come out through the two ports for you. You got next door to it is an optional extra. It comes with it anyway, but if you want to make use of it, it is a 12 volt rail for using a 12 volt fan. But if you put a fan on here and it's very heavy on power, you might find that you might have to increase the amperage on your power supply. But most fans today are quite low powered, so that should not, in theory, affect the power supply. You got the next one next to it is an HT power. Okay, I can zoom in as best as I can. I can't zoom in or zoom out, but on the board you've got a 5 volts and a 12 volt rail. So the object of that is, if you decide you wanted to put maybe LED stripping in for something to make it a bit more brighter inside, so you can actually see what to make it a bit fancier, you have the option. But please remember also, whatever you plug onto there, if it's high, then it could affect the power supply, so you may need to increase it. But that's an optional extra if you wish to do that. But it doesn't mean to say that the power supply, what is supplied, will probably run it fine if you get a low powered one. Next door is your floppy drive power. You need that if you want to use the Grease Weasley interface here that I'm showing you here. Next door is a original 1200 keyboard connector. So if you've got an original keyboard, it plugs into there. Okay. Tilt it up a bit more. You've got a 25 pin serial. Okay. 2 USBs. And you also included, if you want to use an old joypad, joystick, whichever you prefer, the old 9-pin device, that's what this is. Right, so what I'll do is I'll just put it down. As an optional extra, you can purchase this from Amiga Kit. Okay, so it gives you 2 serial ports. Alright, and that basically slots into the header on the side, so that then becomes 2 ports. But like I've just said, that is an optional extra. But on this video, I will be leaving it in because I've already got it anyway. Alright, so from there, this little slots here, I'll try and bring it up as close as I can. Sorry if I can't get it into complete flow. Is a USB header. Now the option for that is if you decide you wanted to put a SATA drive inside the machine, you can use this header to put a USB into it to use the SATA. Or if you wish to use a CD-ROM drive, but you will need a header to go in here, you can also use that slot. Next door to it is your LED input for your lighting. For that will be for your on power, your floppy drive and your hard drive light. That is sold separately, but if you've got a 1200 case like myself where it actually was in it, you can make use of that. But if you do not have one, you can buy this from Amiga Kit and it's on their site. I think it's part of the option. So you got your orange Pi. Now on the side of it is you do have one free USB socket. So you could also make use of that socket for whatever instead of using the header. It's there if you want to make use of it. You got your HDMI input for your micro input for your video, but we'll come to that in a sec. You got an Ethernet connection. Okay, so if you decide you wanted to use the internet instead of using the Wi-Fi, you can connect directly into there as well, but you will need to buy yourself a cable extender, but that's an optional extra. I'm not sure if Amiga Kit will sell that. I think they do, but I can't be 100% sure. You got your 2.5 gigahertz antenna, and I think it's 5.2 as well, but for the safety certainty, I would say it's more likely 2 gigahertz. And then from there you've got 2 jumpers. So at a later date there may be an update comes available, but you will be sent an email out on how to do this. But at this precise moment there is no updates available. The board will be all done before it's sent out, but that's for future reference, and that is going to be for the Grease Weasley and the original 1200 keyboard. That's all those 2 jumpers are for at the moment, but I'm not going into that today. So what we'll then do is we'll remove this out of the way to get me case back up here. We'll bring the the 1200 case. This is the case I was using in my previous videos because I had one of the beta testing boards. Right, so we'll open the machine up. Okay, we'll take the keyboard out. As you can see, it's an original 1200 keyboard. I will move that out of the way for the minute so we don't need it. Okay, so you've got your bottom case. Now, what I will do is I'll get the board and put it into position. Right. Before I do anything, I will quickly put a screw in. When you go to order the board, they do have an optional extra for the hexacle screws and bolts for you to put it into a case, but that's optional extra unless you haven't already got them, but it's on their website as well for you. Okay, so what I'm going to talk to you about next, right, is your floppy drive. Now, Amiga Kit is supplying the cable and your power. It's a Pacific size, and I measured it all up for them, so they've now got the correct measurement. So when you go to order yours, they will send you the same one I've got here, because it fits in the case perfectly. So this is a PC drive. I was told from Amiga Kit though they have sourced some drives, but it's very limited. You would need to speak to them. They haven't actually got any in stock, but they are waiting for some to come in. If you can't get hold of one, I'm sure you can get one on the internet or from somewhere else, but that they are still available. You'll probably find that it's getting quite hard to find some new drives, so you're more than likely to be able to pick up a second-hand one quite easily. Okay, so that's your PC drive. Now coming, this is an original 1200 floppy drive that I own, what came with my 1200. It's not fully functional right this second. The Grease Weasley hasn't got the final update. They reckon it's going to be coming very shortly. Now, if you look carefully, you got a straight cable. That is for the 1200 floppy drive. And this one down here is twisted. You can see it's got a twisted section in it because it's for a PC drive. Now, when you go to order, it's an optional extra again. If you've got an original 1200 floppy drive, make sure you get the straight one and not the one that's twisted. So if you're quite happy to have the PC one, make sure you order the PC one. Okay, and if you look carefully, if I put that roughly in place, that is an original, the one I've got in my hand, that is an original power supply or power connector, what went about there on the original 1200, and you can see it's not long enough to reach. So if you don't have one of these, you will need to order a longer one. Okay, but like I've already told you, you can get that from Amiga Kit. We're not doing the 1200 drive today, so I'm going to get this fitted in position in a sec. So I'm going to move it over there at the moment because we need to put in the HDMI bracket. As you can see, I've already screwed it all in, so it just goes to the back of the machine, pops in, and then get this, and then this pops into your orange Pi. As you can see, it just fits like that, and that is supplied by Amiga Kit. It comes with the board. and then get your floppy drive. I'll get myself another screw. I'm going to screw this into position. Right, we'll connect the ribbon in. When you get the ribbon from Amiga Kit, you can't make a mistake on which way it plugs in, because the actual ribbon has got a little lug just on it, just here, so you can only go in one way. Even on the straight one, that's also got a lug on it, so you can't make a mistake. Okay, and then you've got your floppy power. Okay, connect that in. Okay, right, when we go to put all this together, you've got to remember we got the LED lighting. So what I now need to do is turn this over onto its back, so I can screw in the final screw for the floppy. If you've got a PC drive like I have, you may need to do a slight modification. Oh, I'm clumsy. I'll drop the little screw. Right. Okay. So just here, as you can see, if you get a PC drive, this little piece needs to be cut, and I've had to cut off about 3, maybe about 4 mil off this little piece just along here, because when the case fits on, it sits right on top of this metal piece, and that's no good to you because you can't get it on. So you have to cut a piece out, because on the casing, if I get the casing, okay, if you can see carefully, I'll try my best to get that up there. You can see, let's get a screwdriver. Just here is a lug what sticks out, and that is what this is actually physically touching. So you need to make sure that this area is cut, and then when you go to put your PC drive in as normal, okay, it then misses this little section just here. Makes life so much easier. Okay, so from there, get your keyboard. Okay, I should have mentioned as well before I go too far. When you get your board as well, you will get a blanking plate what goes right along the back of this casing for you. That is supplied with the board for you. There is an optional extra, and it's on the actual site. There is a protection you can put underneath to protect the bottom of the board. I haven't actually got one just at the moment, because I've definitely got nothing in there, so mine's working fine. But it is an optional extra. If you feel that you need to get one, buy it and put it in. It just protects the bottom part of the machine, of the board. Right, so we'll pop the keyboard into roughly a position, because what you will need to do next, on my 1200, as you can see in the video, is basically your LED lighting that would have actually come with your 1200 if with it. Mine's an original one, but on the Amiga website, if you don't have this, you can order it as an optional extra. So what we then need to do is I need to connect this onto here. So you need to just lift your keyboard just out slightly, and just down underneath is your header, what says LED. Okay, and you must make sure you put it round the right way, because if you don't, it probably won't work. As you can see from mine. Sorry, I can't lift it up. Okay, so from there, pull your little clip up to get your ribbon. Push it firmly in. Don't try and push it so you bend the cable, right? And then basically just make sure it's definitely all the way in, because if it's not all the way in, you'll probably find half the keyboard won't work. Okay, so from there we can now start thinking about forgot to slide it back in. Let's try sliding it in. It does help. Okay, don't worry about the orange pie underneath. There is more than enough height for the keyboard to sit in without touching the actual board. If you find that you're a bit worried about it, you could, on the back of this keyboard, just put a piece of tape just here, so it just protects this area, but it does not touch it. Okay, it does clear it completely, but if you feel that you need to do so, then do so. Right then, so now we've got the keyboard in. Get your power in the right place. Right, we're going to make sure, as you can see, all fits, including the drive. We'll flip it upside down. You can hear it nicely clips in. I'm going to put 2 screws in so it doesn't move around. I'm not going to put all of them in. For this demonstration, I'll just put in 2 screws. If you've got an original 1200, then in theory you should have the screws already, but if I remember rightly, if you don't, you should be able to order them from Amiga Kit. I've got an extension hub for USB. It's your choice. I've done it as an optional extra because where I've been testing I needed a few extra slots, so as you can see I just basically plug mine in. This one is a C one as well, but I should really cut it off because I'm leaving this one on there anyway. So there you go. So when you get your blanking plates, so what you can see at the moment, that would all disappear. That, like I said, they all supply it to you anyway. Right, so let's put it back down. Well, now we're going to plug in all the bits and pieces. I'm going to plug in the sound. I'm going to plug in my mouse. Excuse my head. When it allows me to put it in. Okay, and then we'll connect the HDMI in. And hopefully in a minute, once we turn the machine on. Okay. We'll get the power supply, so we're all plugged in, so where we need is your power supply. Okay, plug your power in. Now as soon as I turn it on or plug it in, it will automatically turn on. Just make sure I've got it there. Right, okay, you can see it's powering up. Going to use the Amiga mouse that I got with my G600 GS. That's optional extra, but it's perfect for me. Okay, so hopefully in a minute you'll be able to see the home page come up. There we go. Okay, there you go. So basically, because it's got a grease weaselly built in, it recognises it is an A1200NG. Okay, it uses the same software as the A1200GS. It's just got some extra coding in it, so it knows which board it's connected to. But we won't go any further than that. Right, so press any key. Okay, so from here, I just want to make sure my cursor keys are working. Yeah, that's cool. As you can see, the keyboard is all fully functional. What we will do is we'll load up Ami Bench. I won't need to go through any of this because it's already pre-configured. If somebody's thinking about buying one of these as well, and they've got an A600GS already, then they know the procedure of the software. I have discussed a few bits and pieces in the past, but today it's just basically put it in a case, shown it all working. You've now seen the board, what you're going to be getting. To me now, because it's inside the case, to me it's really like an actual original 1200 again now, just because it now boots up to a menu. You can, I've already mentioned this in the previous videos, you have the option to boot straight into a workbench without it loading the menu up. Then it acts like a full 1200 or your A600GS. But to me, this is superb. Okay, so from there, I'll just show you quick something. So if you can do Control AA, as you can see, it does the full reset. Right, I am going to plug my joypad in because I do not want to press F10 on the keyboard. Now, I've mentioned to you in the previous videos, you will need to set up the mapping for the menu. So because the Amiga doesn't have F12 and it only goes up to F10, you will need to go into the configuration. Well, what I'll do is when we quit back out of this, I'll quickly show you where that is so you know for future reference. So if I press my menu button on my joypad, let's bring this over here. So you press your menu button and then you can see it pops up with a pause menu, and then I'm going to go and quit using my mouse so it takes you straight back to the main menu. If you go into your keyboard and languages, and now you've got the option down the bottom here for mapping your keys. As you can see, mine's set to F10. Now you can, if you've watched my previous videos, you can do it on any form of key. You can even do it on a combination key. If you find that F10 is being used for something else. I know some of the games do use F10, so I may change mine at a later date to a 2 combination, so it doesn't interfere with some of the games, because it will do, especially if you're doing anything with the auto loader, LHA loader, because some of the games require you to press a certain key for it to quit out, and I think F10 is probably one of the most popular ones, but you can change that to suit you. I've left it there at the moment just to make it convenient to me. Just remember also, once you've signed up to the Amisphere, you do have the option to download all the software previously you've done with your A600GS. You can see in the bottom, in the top right hand corner, as you can see, I'm in beta mode. I'm not 100% sure what the public one is. I've forgotten now. I think it's 10.15. I think the beta one is at this precise moment. but as you can see, I'm up to 1034 as it's been updated all the time. I've come across a few problems, like the rest of the team has also came a few problems, so we're trying to improve it all the time, but it's getting so much better all the time, and you'll probably notice it on the A1200GS, it's improved all the time. Okay, so I'm not going into anything on here, so that's quite straightforward. So what we are going to quickly do is I'm going to load up AmiBench again, and if everything goes according to plan, I'm going to quickly show you Doom running on here, just to show you how quick it's running. So we'll just wait for AmiBench to pop up. Just remember, along the bottom of your main screen is you got your dialogue right along the bottom there for your LEDs, what tells you the status of what the system is doing. You do have the option to remove that, so you don't have that up anymore. I want it up because I need it, so if there's any issues I can see what's going on, but you do have the option to remove that in the main menu. So I'll let you sort that out for yourself to suit everyone. Everyone's got a different opinion. Okay, so we're going to go into programs, going to go to games. Okay, and as you can see, I've got GP, virtual GP, but we're not doing that one today. We're going to go into Doom. Okay, the first thing you need just to double check is going into your preference of Doom Attack. Okay, select, press OK. Now this pops up. Don't worry about it if it comes up with gargle. I'm not 100% sure why it does that, but just ignore that, just leave it alone. Go to video, click on screen mode, and now you can actually select the higher modes. You probably knew before, most stuff is in PAL, but AmiBench is already defaulted to the higher resolution, is up here, ran this one. But when you're playing Doom, I found doing 640 by 400 was more than adequate for what I needed. So if you've done that, just click OK, click Save. And now you've got 040, 060 and 020. So depending on what you've got it set to on your configuration, mine is only set for 40, and I think AmiBench is only set up for 40. So we're going to load the 40 up anyway. Now, if you do use this on the 1200, I've personally found a small bug, but to overcome the problem is as soon as it loads up, as soon as you see the screen, please press enter, 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 and it takes you straight into the game. If you don't, for some reason, I'm not 100% sure why, it just freezes. The actual game freezes, not the actual workbench. That is all functional in the background, but when you come to that point, you will need to do your Control AA to quit to reload workbench up, but it doesn't quit that at all. It's just the game quits out. So right, so let's load it up, and I'm going to get my fingers on the enter. Okay, you can see the dialogue entering up. As soon as you see it, press enter straight into it. Okay, and as you can see, it's moving. The other slight bug I'm finding is don't touch your mouse. If you touch your mouse, it starts playing by itself near enough, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so you got your 7 to move up, 1 to move down, Okay, and 4 to recenter. I'm going to come down just slightly. You got control to fire, and then basically you got your left, your right, forward and backwards. And here we go. What we'll do is I'll complete this level just to show you how quick it is. I'm not perfect. I know where most of the stuff is. I've got, oh, as you can see, it's so quick, very sensitive. Oh. Now what I'm going to try and do is, there is a secret, well, it's not a secret door really. Right. Okay, so round here, turn round, press your space bar and quickly leg it. Whoa, missed. The door's, oh, I've got to go back again. I missed the door. But nah, I'm not going to bother. Right, so what we'll then do is we're going to head out. I've got to figure out where the entrance is. It's down here. That's it. Right. Okay. Open up. But you can see how quick it is. And it absolutely plays so well. Right. I think there's one more. I think there's one more. No, there isn't. Oh, look out. There we go. Move over. There we go. Right. Now the monster's up here. Oh, wrong way. I didn't want to do that. Let's leg it. Now, I know there's a secret entrance what brings you back out. Right, so we're almost at the end of the level. I'm just waiting for the monster to come back down. There's another monster. Because I can still hear him. And as you can see, I'm playing it on the keyboard. And it's very sensitive. No. Okay, we'll go through the door. But missed it. Get a bit closer. Oh. There we go. We've completed the level. Right, so that's basically now giving you a bit of a taster. How quick the machine is. I'm impressed. Previously, a lot of you already saw some of my previous videos. I showed you on how to set up your workbench, some new features, and it's improving all the time. So when you get your device, hopefully from April onwards, hopefully you'll be like me, impressed with it. You can do so much with it. As time goes on, I will be bringing some more updates to the channel as soon as I get any more bits and pieces. Please leave any comments down the bottom. If there's something you want to ask, if I can't answer it, I will ask the rest of the team. You can always go to Amiga.org, go on there, and you got the section up there for the A600GS, and I think also up there now is the A1200NG. So you can always leave some comments in there, and somebody from the team will get back to you with some help if you get stuck. But if you need anything as well, you can always leave me a message. Just on the screen you can see where it says A1200GS. By the time you get your unit, I'm hoping that may disappear, or they're going to change it to the A1200NG. I can't tell you precisely, but hopefully I will know a bit more, like you all will be. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video I've done. Please come back, and hopefully there'll be some more. I hope you've enjoyed it. So from this, have a nice day.